For a number of years now, work has been proceeding in order to bring perfection to the crudely conceived idea of a machine that would work to not only supply inverse reactive current for use in unilateral phase detectors, but would also be capable of automatically synchronizing cardinal gram meters. And such a machine is the Turboencabulator. Basically, the only new principle involved is that instead of power being generated by the relaxive motion of conductors and fluxes, it is produced by the modial interactions of magnetoreluctance and capacitive directance. The original machine had a base plate of prefabulated amulite surrounded by a malleable logarithmic casing in such a way that the two spurving bearings were in direct line with the pentametric fan, and the latter consisted simply of 6 hydrocoptic Marsal vanes so fitted to the ambifacient lunar vane shaft that side fumbling was effectively prevented. The main winding was of the normal Lotus O delta type placed in pandametric semiboiloid slots in the stator, every 7th conductor being connected by a non-reversible thermic pipe to the differential girdle spring on the up end of the gram meter. 41 monastically placed grouting brushes were arranged to feed into the rotor slipstream a mixture of high S-value phenylhydrobenzyamine and 5% ruminative tetraiodohexamine. Both these liquids have specific pericosities given by P equals 2.4 Cn, where N is the diethical evolute of retrograde temperature phase disposition, and C is the common Daly's annual grillage coefficient. Initially, N was measured with the aid of a metapolar pilfrometer, but up to the present date, nothing has been found to equal the transcendental Hopper datoscope. Electrical engineers will appreciate the difficulty of nubbing together a regurgitative Purwell and a superminative Wennel sprocket. Indeed, this proved to be a stumbling block to further development until in 1943 it was found that the use of anhydrous nagling pins enabled a kiptonastic boiling shim to be tankered. The early attempts to construct a sufficiently robust spiral decommutator failed largely because of a lack of appreciation of the large quasi-pietic stresses in the gremlin studs. The latter were specially designed to hold the Roffet bars to the spam shaft. When, however, it was discovered that wending could be prevented by the simple addition of teeth to socket, almost perfect running was secured. The operating point is maintained as near as possible to the HF rem peak by constantly formaging the bituminous sprandles. This is a distinct advance on the standard nivel sheave, and that no dramic oil is required after the phase detractors have remissed. Undoubtedly, the Turboencabulator has now reached a very high level of technical development. It has been successfully used for operating no-fur trunnions. In addition, whenever a bearskin score motion is required, it may be employed in conjunction with a drawn reciprocating dingle arm to reduce sinusoidal depleneration.